Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 5 and we are here to present our lesson towards a global sustainable world.
Started learning by the end of the module, students were able to define the concepts of sustainable development and global security and explain the interconnected nature of global challenges and opportunities. Sustainable development. Sustainable development is a concept that balances economic growth, environmental protection, and social well-being. It was widely recognized after the 1987 Brundtland Report, which defined it as development that meets present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. The United Nations established the 17 Sustainable Development Goals as a framework to promote economic prosperity, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability. Ang sustainable development po ay konsepto na nagbabalik po sa kabuhayan, kalikasan, at kapakanan po ng tao. Layunin po nitong matugunan ang mga pangangailangan natin ngayon nang hindi nakasakripisyo ang kinabukasan ng sunod na henerasyon. Tanong, napa- napapanatili ba ang sustainable development sa kasalukuyang panahon? Sagot po ay hindi po dahil marami po marami pa rin pong mga bansa ang nahihirapan sanhi ng iba't ibang panahon at problema po sa ekonomiya. Pagdili 2022 identified several reasons why sustainable development has gained worldwide importance. One, it serves as the UN long-term global development agenda. Two, it promotes sustainability for present and future generations. Three, it provides a framework for achieving balanced and inclusive development. Four, it seeks to generate lasting socio-economic and environmental benefits. So ayun, ayon kay Ozili, may iba't ibang dahilan daw po kung bakit mahalaga ang sustainable development. Una ay ang pang matagalang plano. Pangalawa ay ang pinapanatili nitong may pinapanatili nitong may tiyak na resources para sa panahon ngayon at sa sunod na henerasyon. Pangatlo, nagbibigay ito ng maayos na sistema para sa pag-unlad ng bawat tao upang ang bawat mamamayan ay pantay ang pag-unlad. Panghuli ay ang pangmatagalang pakinabang na tatagal po hanggang sa sunod na henerasyon. Tanong, para kanino ang isinusulong na pangangalaga sa likas na yaman? Sagot, para sa kasalukuyan at sa susunod na mga henerasyon. Salamat.
Now that we understand what sustainable development is, let's look at its relationship with globalization. Ang globalization uh, has accelerated economic development through trade, investment, technology transfer, and industrialization. However, these advancements have also increased pressure on natural resources and the environment. Ang globalization daw ay nakatulong sa madaming bansa para mas mapadali ang trade products, attract investments, tapos ang pag-share ng technology. Because of this daw, madaming bansa ang nag-experience ng economic growth at improved living standards. However, ang globalization daw ay mayroong disadvantages. As industries expand and production increases, more natural resources such as forest, water, and fossil fuels are used. This also leads to more pollution and environmental damage. So a great example of this is China. So China became one of the world's largest manufacturing countries because of many international companies that build their products there. So this created maraming trabaho at nag-boost ng economy. However, yung rapid na industrialization nag-cause ng air pollution sa mga city ng China kagaya ng Beijing. So, ang response ng China dito ay mag-invest heavily in renewable energy and stricter environmental laws to reduce pollution. So, what this example shows that globalization can improve a country's economy, but governments must also protect the environment to make sustainable development. So, ang question ay, can anyone think of a product that we use every day because of globalization? So, yes, a good example of this is our smartphones. The parts are made in different countries, assembled in another country, and then sold worldwide. That's globalization. So, if economic growth is not if economic growth alone is not enough, what areas should countries balance to achieve sustainable development? So let's discuss the four interconnected systems. So according to NEAG and Bukata 2015, sustainable development balances four interconnected systems, which is the economic, social, ecological, and technological systems. So let me explain the four. The economic system focuses on creating jobs and improving people's income, while the social system ensures people have access to education, healthcare, and equal opportunities. Next, the ecological system protects the environment by conserving natural resources and reducing pollution. Lastly, the technological system encourages innovation that makes development more efficient and environmental friendly. So, ang example nito ay ang Denmark. Kasi ang Denmark daw ay one of the world's leaders in wind energy. So, wind turbines generate a large portion of the country's electricity. So this creates jobs, provides clean energy, reduces pollution, and uses advanced technology at the same time. So pinapakita daw ng Denmark na napapag napapag-work niya yung apat na system to achieve sustainable development. So ang question ay, why do you think these four systems should work together instead of focusing only on the economy? So, because focusing only on the economy can harm the environment or the people's well-being. Sustainable development means balancing all four systems. Next po. So, now that we've learned the different systems involved in the sustainable development, let's see how this idea developed into a global movement. So, sustainable development daw evolved from focusing mainly on economic concerns to a broader global agenda. The United Nations introduced the Millennium Development Goal or MDGs in the year 2000s, which later developed into the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs after the Rio Plus 20 conference in 2012. The SDGs promote environmental sustainability, social inclusion, and economic development. So later on, nag-expand pa tong goal na to into 17 Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs, yun nga, after daw ng Rio Plus 20 Conference in 2012. A great example of this na nangyayari sa bansa natin ay ang 4Ps. The Pantawid Pamilya Filipino Program or the 4Ps ay nagpo-provide ng financial assistance sa poor families as long as pumapasok daw yung anak nila sa school at nakaka-receive ng regular health check-ups. So this supports the SDGs such as no poverty, quality education, and good health and well-being. So this shows that the SDGs are not just global goals. They are also being implemented in our own country. So ang question ko ay can anyone name one sustainable development goals or SDGs sa iba pang mga bansa? So yeah, ang example nito ay ang climate action which focuses on reducing climate change And another naman is ang quality education, which ensures everyone has access to education. Next po. So, while these goals encourage development, we must also make sure that economic growth does not harm the environment. Let's discuss that in the next slide, which is the economic growth and sustainable development. Economic growth provides benefits such as higher incomes, improved infrastructure, technological innovation, and more opportunities. However, according to Karen Higgins of 2013, economic growth must be balanced with sustainability because excessive production and consumption can lead to environmental degradation, resources depletion, and pollution. So, ang example nito ay yung sa Amazon rainforest sa Brazil. Kasi ang large areas ng forest na yon has been cleared for cattle ranching and soybean farming. So, while this can contribute to economic growth, it also destroy wildlife habitat that reduces the biodiversity and increases carbon emission. So, this teaches us that the economic growth is important, but it should never come at the expense of the environment. Sustainable development means growing the economy while protecting the natural resources for the future generations. So, ang question ko ngayon ay, do you think a country can become economically successful while still protecting the environment? Yes. Gaya nung example ko kanina, yung Denmark. Denmark is a good example because it has invested in wind energy na nag-create siya ng job, tapos sinusupport pa niya yung economy, and nag-reduce din siya ng pollution at the same time. So it proves that economic growth and environmental protection can go hand in hand. So now that we understand why economic growth must be balanced with environmental protection, let's look at the different ways a country can achieve sustainable development. So the sustainable development requires balancing economic growth with environmental protection, investing in renewable energy and cleaner technologies, reducing resource depletion, encouraging responsible production and consumption. So kaya nga sinabi ko kanina, yung Denmark ay great example kasi nag-create na siya ng job, nag-reduce pa siya ng pollution. So nagkakamin hand in hand yung apat na system na need para sa sustainable development.
According to Gasimli et al. 2022, globalization affects sustainable development through trade, industrialization, technology, and foreign investment. These processes support economic growth but can also create environmental challenges if not managed properly. So, globalization influences sustainable development through channels like trade, technology, and foreign investment. While these drivers often foster economic growth, they sustain they simultaneously present significant environmental challenge if not managed properly. Effective management is crucial to balance the economic benefits of globalization with sustainability goals. What are the four specific channels through which globalization affects sustainable development, and what dual outcome can this process create? The four channels is trade industrialization, technology foreign investment, globalization promotes international trade, technology transfer, economic integration, knowledge exchange, investment opportunities. And globalization may also lead to resource depletion, pollution, green gas emission, environmental degradation. Next po. Major global environmental problems. Globalization, industrialization, Industrialization and economic development have improved human life but have also increased environmental challenges that affect ecosystem, economies, and public health. Tanong, how can developing nations balance the urgent need for industrialization to lift their population out of poverty? Sagot, balancing these needs requires global cooperation. Developed nations must provide green tech transfers and financial aid, while developing nations must implement strict internal policies to ensure their economic growth is sustainable rather than destructive.
And now we will talk about major global environmental problems. This includes pollution of air, water, and land caused by industrial waste emissions, plastics, oil spills, and improper waste disposal. This happens when harmful substances contaminate the air, water, and land. Next is climate change. It refers to the long term changes in Earth's temperature and weather. Next is overpopulation. As population grows, the demand for food, water, and energy also increases, putting more pressure on natural resources. Next is depletion of non renewable resources. Resources like oil, coal, and natural gases are limited. Next is waste management problems. Improper disposal of garbage, such as throwing trash in open areas or rivers, pollutes the environment and can spread diseases. Next slide, please. Six is loss of biodiversity and ecosystem destruction. Examples of this is cutting down forests. Um, it destroys homes of many animals, causing species to become endangered or extinct. Next is rising carbon dioxide levels. Carbon dioxide examples of this are carbon dioxide from cars, factories, and power plants traps heat in the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. Eight is ozone layer depletion. As cities grow, forests and farmlands are often cleared to build houses, roads, and buildings. Tenth is public health threats and pandemics. Environmental pollution and poor sanitation can increase the spread of diseases and affect people's health. And last is changes in global food systems. Climate change and environmental damage can reduce crop production, making food more expensive or harder to access. Question. Among the major global environment problems, which do you think has the greatest impact in our lives? And I think climate change has the greatest impact because it causes stronger typhoons, floods, and extreme heat affecting people's lives and health and the environment. Next slide. Next is pollution. Pollution is the release of harmful substances called pollutants into the environment. It can come from natural sources or human activities such as industries, transportation, agriculture, and improper waste disposal. Pollution damages the air, water, and land, affecting ecosystems and human health. For example, volcanic eruptions produces ash and gases that pollute the air naturally. However, most pollution today is caused by human activities. Everyday activities such as driving cars, operating factories, using pesticides, and throwing garbage causes pollution. Common sources include vehicle emission, industrial waste, sewage, pesticides, and plastic waste. Pollutants can spread through the air and water, making pollution a global issue. And one important thing is to remember is that pollution doesn't stay in one place. Smokes from factories can be carried by the wind to other places. Next slide, please. The major types of pollutions are air pollution, water pollution, and land. Air pollution, uh, the contamination of the atmosphere by harmful gases and particles from industries, vehicles, and fossil fuels. For example, smoke from factories, vehicles, or burning garbage can cause some respiratory diseases. Water pollution, contamination of water sources by chemicals, sewage, oil spills, plastics, and waste. For example, when spills or plastic waste enter the sea, they harm fish, turtles, and other marine life. Next is land pollution. Damage, damage to land caused by improper waste disposal, mining industries, and mining industrial activities and chemicals. For example, when is thrown anywhere or chemicals are dumped on the ground, the soil becomes contaminated, making it difficult for plants to grow. And question, can you give one example of air, water, and land pollution that you have seen in your community? One example is plastic waste thrown in rivers. This pollutes the waters, harms aquatic life, and may cause flooding. Next slide. Climate change. Climate change refers to the long-term changes in Earth's temperature and weather patterns. It's mainly caused by human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels that releases greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. These gases act like a blanket around the Earth. They trap heat in the atmosphere, making the planet warmer, and this is called global warming. Next slide. These gases trap heat from the atmosphere, causing global warming and increasing environmental problems such as stronger hurricanes, floods, droughts, and heat waves. Changes in rainfall patterns affecting agriculture, rising sea levels due to melting ice, loss of biodiversity and habitats, increase increased risks of food, water supply, and public health. And question for the climate change is, what is the main cause of climate change? The main cause of climate change is the burning of fossil fuels, which releases greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. Next slide. Now we will talk about the lasting environmental impacts of globalization. First is increased transportation of goods. Global trades such as global trades as increases the movement of products between countries, leading to higher carbon emissions, increased fuel consumption and pollution, habitat destruction from transport infrastructure, spread of invasive species through shipping. Because countries trade with one another, products are shipped around the world by trucks, ships, trains, and airplanes. While this helps businesses and consumers, it means more fuel is burned, which increases carbon emission and air pollution. Building ports, roads, and airports can also destroy natural habitats. Next slide. Second is specialization. Globalization encourages countries to focus on certain industries. While it improves productivity, it can also cause deforestation, overfishing, soil degradation, overuse of natural resources. Um, this means countries focus on producing the goods they are best at making. For example, like one country focuses on logging while the other country focuses on fishing. And question is, how can globalization have a negative impact on the environment? Globalization can increase pollution through transport of goods and lead to deforestation, overfishing, and overuse of natural resources.
So next is declining biodiversity. Pollution, habitat destruction, invasive species, and climate change contribute to the loss of plant and animal species worldwide. So many plant and animal species are disappearing because of pollution, habitat destruction, invasive species, and climate change. Next is increased environmental awareness. Globalization has helped spread awareness of environmental issues, encouraging stronger policies, international cooperation, and sustainability efforts. So globalization um, can be can spread and give awareness to other countries, to the people, to spread about environmental issues so that they can cooperate and give actions sa nagiging problem natin sa environmental. So the question is, bakit mahalagang balansehin ang pag-unlad at pangangalaga sa kalikasan? Because ang kalikasan is isa sa mga importante sa atin kasi kung di maayos yung kalikasan natin is hindi magiging maayos din yung pag-unlad natin. Next, global food security. Food security is a key goal of sustainable development. It exists when all people have continuous access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food for a healthy and active life. So, it is the main goal of sustainable development that it ensures everyone has a regular access to enough safe and nutritious food for a healthy and active life. So, the question is, why is food security important in everyday life? It ensures everyone has enough safe and nutritious food to stay healthy and live an active life. The four dimensions of food security are food availability. Sufficient food is consistently produced or supplied. So, ibig sabihin nito is dapat lahat ng foods, mga ingredients is available before lutuin. So, next is food access. People have the economic and physical ability to obtain food. So, ibig sabihin nito is lahat may access, lahat makakakuha ng foods. Next is food utilization. Food provides proper nutrition through safe preparation, sanitation, and healthy dietary practices. So, ibig sabihin nito, sa pagpe-prepare ng food, dapat malinis, safe lahat ng ingredients, mga utensils, mga tools sa pagluluto para ensure natin na safe yung food na ibibigay natin sa mga tao. Next is food stability. Food availability, access, and utilization are maintained over time, even during economic, political, or environmental disruptions. So, ibig sabihin nito kahit anong problemang dumating, um, sta, stab, stay pa rin yung source, yung access and utilization ng food, walang magbabago, patuloy pa rin yung pagbibigay ng mga foods. So, the question is, what's one of the, sa tingin mo, ano yung isa sa pinaka prioritize sa four dimensions of food security? For me is yung food availability. Kasi kung hindi available yung food is hindi natin magagawa yung food. Hindi natin walang food access, hindi natin ma-utilize, and hindi natin siya ma-maintain. Next. Importance of food security. Global food security is increasingly important due to population growth and rising food demand. According to Kit Bliney, to 2016, the global population is expected to exceed 9 billion by 2050, requiring increased food production. So, dito is um, how does population growth affect global food security? It increases the demand for food, requiring more sustainable farming and better food distribution. Next is achieving food security requires sustainable agriculture. So, ibig sabihin nito, dapat patuloy pa rin yung pagtatanim ng mga food para as a source of food natin, yung mga ingredients dyan kukuhanin. Then, next, improve food distribution. Dapat lahat equal. Lahat, ang pagbibigay ng mga food ay equal sa lahat. Next is climate resilient farming. So, ibig sabihin nito is farming na nakakayang i-withstand yung climate change. Tapos, efficient use of resources. So, ito is yung conserving water, land, and energy while producing food. Last is reduction of food waste. So this is minimizing the amount of food that is lost or thrown away. So ito which of these strategies do you think is the biggest challenge in the Philippines? Explain your answer. For me is yung sustainable agriculture kasi hindi sa Pilipinas is hindi equal yung pagtrato ng gobyerno natin sa mga magsasaka na nagpa-prioritize sa agriculture natin. Like, mababa yung presyohan nila sa mga naaani ng mga magsasaka natin. Kaya parang unfair sa mga Pilipinong magsasaka natin.
Causes of global food security. So, ang mga dahilan kung bakit maraming tao. Wait, rinig ba ako? Okay, start na. Global food insecurity o ang mga dahilan kung bakit maraming tao sa iba't ibang bansa ang hindi nagkakaroon ng sapat at masustansyang pagkain. Ayon kay Blinay, 2016, one of the main reason nito ay ang population growth. Habang dumarami ang population ng mundo, mas tumataas din ang demand o pangangailangan sa pagkain. Kaya mas nahihirapan ang agricultural sector na makapag-produce ng sapat na pagkain para sa lahat. At ang isa pang cause ay ang changing diets. Habang tumataas ang income ng mga tao, which is nagbabago rin ang kanilang food preferences. Mas maraming tao ang gustong kumain ng foods na tulad ng meat at dairy products na nangangailangan ng mas maraming resources para ma-produce. Dahil dito, mas lumalaki rin ang pressure sa food production. So my question is, if advances in technology have significantly improved food production, why do population growth and changing diets still continue to worsen global food insecurity? So my answer is, even though technology has improved food production, the world's population is growing faster, which means mas maraming tao ang kailangang pakainin. At the same time, as people incomes increase, they tend to consume more resource-intensive foods like meat, which require more land, water, and feed to produce. Kaya mas productive na ang agriculture, kahit na mas productive ang agriculture, mas mabilis pa rin tumataas ang demand kaysa sa supply. Next slide, please. So, bukod sa population growth at changing diet, kasama din dito yung nakaka-affect dito yung climate change. Dahil sa mas madalas na drought, floods at malalakas na bagyo, naaapektuhan ng farming at bumababa ang agricultural productivity. So meaning, mas kaunti ang naaani ng ating mga farmers. Next one is water scarcity o kakulangan ng malinis na tubig. Dahil kailangan ng tubig sa pagsasaka, kapag kulang ang water supply, naaapektuhan din ang food production. Last is declining agricultural workforce. Sa kasalukuyan, mas kaunti na ang mga taong gustong maging farmers at nababawasan din ang agricultural land dahil sa urbanization. Dahil dito, mas nagiging mahirap ang pag-produce ng sapat na pagkain para sa lumalaking populasyon. So my question is, among climate change, water scarcity, and the declining agricultural workforce, which poses the greatest long-term threat to global food security and why? So my answer is climate change. Climate change is considered the greatest long-term threat because it directly affects weather patterns, water availability, and crop production all at once. More frequent droughts, floods, and extreme temperatures make farming more difficult. Dahil dito, lumalaki rin ang water scarcity at bumababa ang agricultural productivity, making food insecurity even more serious. Next slide. So, let's talk about current issues na nakakaapekto sa food security. According to Yusuf et al. 2023, isa sa pinakamalaking naging problema ay ang COVID-19 pandemic dahil naapektuhan nito ang production, transportation at distribution ng pagkain. Kasama rin dito ang climate change, rising food prices, armed conflicts o mga digmaan, and supply chain disruption. So all of this problem ay naging dahilan kung bakit mas nahihirapan ang maraming tao na magkaroon ng sapat at abot kayang pagkain. So the question is, why can a country experience food insecurity even if it produces enough food for its population? So for me, my answer is food security is not only about producing enough food. It also depends on whether people can access and afford that food. For example, during COVID-19, many countries had enough food supplies, but transportation problems, rising prices, and supply chain disruption prevented food from reaching everyone. Kaya may pagkain nga, pero hindi lahat ay may access dito. Next slide, please. So, para naman matugunan ang mga challenges na ito, nagbigay ang World Bank 2024 ng ilang recommendations. First is, kailangan nating suportahan ang mga vulnerable household o ang mga pamilyang pinaka-apektado ng insecurity. Second is, dapat i-improve ang food monitoring at early warning system para mas mabilis matukoy at maagapan ang mga posibleng food shortages. The third one is, mahalagang i-promote ang climate-smart agriculture o paggamit ng mas makabagong farming methods na kaya makasabay sa epekto ng climate change. The fourth one is, reducing food losses and improving supply chain. So meaning, kailangang mabawasan ang nasasayang na pagkain mula sa pag-aani hanggang sa pagdadala nito sa mga pamilihan. Kapag mas maayos ang transportation, storage at distribution, mas maraming pagkain ang makakarating sa mga consumers. The fifth one is investing in agricultural research and innovation. Mahalaga ang patuloy na pag-aaral at pagde-develop ng mga bagong technology at farming techniques upang mapataas ang production ng pagkain at matulungan ang mga magsasaka maging productive. And the last one is strengthening cooperation among governments, organizations, and other sectors. Dahil ang food insecurity ay isang global issue, mas magiging epektibo ang solusyon kung nagtutulungan ang iba't ibang bansa at sektor sa pagbabahagi ng resources, kaalaman, at mga programa para masiguradong may sapat na pagkain ang lahat. Dahil kapag nagtutulungan ang lahat, mas magiging effective ang pagharap sa food insecurity. So the question is, why is strengthening cooperation among government organizations and other sectors considered one of the most effective solutions to food insecurity? So, food insecurity is a global issue that cannot be solved by one country or one organization alone. Governments, international organizations, researchers, and farmers need to work together to improve policies, develop better farming technologies, and respond quickly during food crisis. Kapag coordinated ang efforts ng iba't ibang sectors, mas sustainable at mas effective ang solusyon. So, to conclude, Ipinapakita ng sustainable development na hindi lang economic growth ang mahalaga. Kailangan ding magkaroon ng balance sa pagitan ng pag-unlad ng ekonomiya, pangangalaga sa environment, at kapakanan ng mga tao. Totoong maraming naitulong ang globalization sa technology, economy, at global connections, pero nagdala rin ito ng mga challenges tulad ng pollution, climate change, resource depletion, at biodiversity loss. Kaya mahalagang maging responsable tayo sa paggamit ng ating natural resources. Dapat din nating suportahan ang mga renewable energy, environmental protection, at mas magandang food security strategies. In the end, ang pagkakaroon ng sustainable future ay responsibilidad nating lahat. Sa pamamagitan ng cooperation at responsible actions, mas matutugan na natin ang mga global challenges habang prinoprotektahan ang mga resources para sa susunod na mga generations. So the question is, can a country achieve economic growth without sacrificing environmental sustainability and food security? So my answer is yes, it is possible if development is sustainable. Economic growth should go hand in hand with environmental protection and responsible use of natural resources. By investing in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and better food security strategies, countries can support present needs while protecting resources for future generations. Sa madaling salita, ang tunay na progress ay hindi lang tungkol sa economic growth, kundi pati sa pagprotekta sa environment at sa kapakanan ng susunod na generation. Thank you.